Hello, you're welcome to today's interview on UHASBASETV, proudly brought to you by UHAS SRC. Now, study has shown that hepatitis B is a highly transmissible viral infection. Now, imagine a person infected with this disease and trying to get a cure to this incurable disease and is faced with a roller coaster of not knowing when this miracle will happen. Today, we are here with some of our colleagues who will enlighten us on what hepatitis B actually is and why we should get vaccinated. You're welcome once again. My name is Christiana, and I'm here with a beautiful lady and a handsome gentleman from the Medical Laboratory Science Department of the School of Allied Health Sciences. Please, your names and your levels. We'll start with you.
Okay, I'm Rahima Mpadukunadu, a med lab level 400 student.
Okay.
And I am Precious Moyo out there. I'm at level 400 students.
All right. You're welcome to our show. Thanks for making it.
you.
All right. So please, we'd like to. Today's interview is basically on hepatitis B, but we want to have like a broader scope about the knowledge on hepatitis itself. So we want to know what hepatitis is. So please, if you can tell us what hepatitis is.
Alright, thank you. Hepatitis is the inflammation of the liver.
Okay.
This condition can be self-limiting or can progress to cirrhosis,
All right.
which is the scarring of the liver,
Okay.
or can lead to liver cancer, that is abnormal growth in the liver.
Okay.
Yeah. Hepatitis viruses are the most common causes of hepatitis, but
Right.
other infections and toxic substances such as alcohol and certain drugs and also autoimmune diseases can cause hepatitis.
All right. All right.
There are 5 main types of hepatitis viruses, namely A, B, C, D, and E.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So these 5 main types of viruses are of greatest concern because of the burden of illness and death they cause, and also the potential for outbreaks and epidemic spread.
Okay.
Types B and C are the leading cause of liver cancer worldwide.
All right.
Yes, and viral hepatitis results in 1.4 million deaths per year.
Wow. That's quite a lot. Okay.
So that's basically what hepatitis is.
Okay. So, Mr. Precious, from your delivery, I get you saying self-limiting, and my viewers might not understand what that means. Please, can you enlighten us on?
Yes, self-limiting and simply means the infection lasts for few days to weeks, and it can resolve by itself. Yes, so you might not show any signs and symptoms during that time.
Okay.
So
So,
it's self-limiting.
if you don't get screening, that's when it progresses. Oh,
Yes.
oh, okay. All right. So, Miss Rahima, to the topic of the day, please, we'd like to know what hepatitis B is, since he has given us the 5 types and he says the B and C are the most dangerous ones. So, we'd like to know what hepatitis B actually is. So, please enlighten us.
Okay, so hepatitis B virus
Mhm.
is a very dangerous virus and it causes inflammation of the liver, as my colleague said earlier.
Okay.
And this virus is more infectious as compared to HIV/AIDS.
Wow.
Yes.
HIV.
Yes, of
Wow.
course.
Okay.
And is the second leading cause of cancer in humans.
Okay.
Then comparing it's being infectious compared to the HIV. This is due to the mode of transmission. When we take HIV, it's normally through sexual intercourse or maybe direct contact with the infected blood.
Okay.
But with this, we can get it through body fluids. And the most dangerous part is an infected person having the chronic disease, even sweat. Common sweat can be a good mode of transmission.
Wow. Okay. All right. So, from your delivery, we would like to know some of the signs and symptoms that a person would show, which would indicate that he or she is having hepatitis B. Please, would like to say to me.
Mm.
All right.
Yeah. Usually people don't experience any symptoms when they are infected.
Okay.
So yeah. So you might not know you even have it.
Wow.
Yes. But when symptoms do develop, they include usually um body pains, that is muscle and joint pains, tummy pains. They also experience tiredness almost all the time. So they get tired so often.
Okay.
When it progresses, they experience what is known as dark urine, they also become jaundice. That is the yellowish coloration of the skin and the eye. And it also comes out a pale gray stool. That's some of the most common signs and symptoms of that infection. However, I would like to stress that most people don't show signs and symptoms. Yes. So this it can really pick during blood test.
Thank you. So we'd like to know how it's transmitted as well. How is the hepatitis B virus transmitted from one person to the other?
Okay, so the virus can be transmitted through blood,
Okay.
semen, vaginal secretion,
Okay.
and some body fluids from the infected person to an uninfected person. And then normally most people don't show infection, as my colleague said, and they are normally referred to as asymptomatic, but yet still they can transfer the infection. There are different routes by which the virus can be transmitted. One is by birth. An infected mother can transmit the virus to the child during delivery. Yes, and then but there can be prevention, that is from the mother to the child. This normally happens when the child, right after delivery, maybe 24 hours after delivery, is given a vaccine.
Okay.
Around that time, the virus is not really active in the child, so the vaccine can protect the child from the virus. And also, having sexual intercourse with an infected partner, there is exchange of fluids and a very good mode of the transmission of the virus. Using materials like syringes, toothbrush, needles, and sometimes those who do that are tattooing, maybe the instrument they are using is not really sterile, and if there is any virus harboring on the instrument, it's a very good medium of the transmission. And also, if there is direct contact with blood or sore of an infected person, it's a very good mode for the transmission. This virus normally, after it comes out of the body, it can stay like 7 days. So during this period, if an uninfected person uses instruments with the virus on it, the person can get the virus, because when it's outside, it's not really active, but when it gets to the body, then it will start multiplying. And the incubation period, that is the time of infection to the time when the infected person starts to show symptoms, is normally 11 to 4 days. So within that period, we'll be able to detect the virus in the blood of the patient. When the virus is not detected early, it can progress to chronic infection. And that one, the cure.
Then Miss Wahima, that would mean that those who are asymptomatic, if the disease will surely progress to the chronic state, because they wouldn't know they are having the disease. Do you get it?
Yes. And
so
that's
what should they do?
Right
now I'm asymptomatic, so
yes. So that's the main reason why we are creating this awareness.
Okay.
That there is free screening and then vaccination.
Okay.
And people who are protected from this virus are only those who are vaccinated.
Okay.
Because your body will produce antibodies against the virus. That's when it comes into the body, you are free. So that's the best thing one can do for oneself.
I think we'll get to that, but
Sure,
that's
sure,
the reason why we're
sure.
here. Okay, so we would like to know how this disease is diagnosed. So if you'd like to give us like how it's diagnosed, we'd like to know that.
Yeah, so the basic sample we use is the blood, since the virus reside in the blood of an individual. So there are testing materials or testing kits that are designed to identify proteins that the body produces in response to the viral infection. Yeah, so this test kit picks the protein, and it's when it picks the protein, that's when we say you test positive to the virus, and when the protein is absent, we say you test negative. Yeah, so when you test positive, like you are definitely placed on treatment regimen, and also when you test negative, the best option is to get vaccinated, like my colleague rightly said.
Okay, so Mr. Precious, would this test kit be able to determine whether you are the chronic state or the acute state? I mean, like, is the test quantitative, semi-qualitative, or qualitative?
as of right now, we use only qualitative test kits.
Oh, okay. So it's really tell you whether you are positive or negative.
Yes, that is for the screening. Screening is just to know if
You are positive.
yes or negative.
Right.
Yes. So when you are positive, that's when there are other um, mechanisms and techniques that you use to detect how far the viral replication has gone in your system.
Okay. Since you said there are no treatments for this disease, I would like to know, like you said, it's not curable. That's what you actually said. We'd like to know, is there a way it is managed, like a form of treatment, or and then how it can be prevented? We'd like to know that as well.
Okay, so for the treatment, as you rightly said,
Mm,
there is no major treatment that will clear the virus completely from their body.
okay.
But patients are normally given prophylaxis, like a medicine that will reduce the virus multiplication.
Okay.
So it's like it will be limited. That will not cause severe infection or maybe inflammation of the liver, but yet still, you still be having the infection. So the best treatment is the vaccination. So the vaccination, it comes in 3 doses. So you take the first shot, the second, and the third.
Okay. All right. So it comes in 3 phases.
Yes.
So what happens to a person who just takes one and decides now we are vaccinated? So that's all. So what would that person?
So it's supposed to be first, second, and third. So for the first, how it has been designed is like the inactive form of the virus is put in the patient so that the body will produce antibodies. Then the second and the third one will stimulate the antibody production. So if you take just the one shot thinking you are okay, you are not really protected from this virus. You have to continue with the dose. And then their duration, maybe from the first to the second, you have to follow the appropriate time, then second to the third. So when you get your test shots, then you should be relaxed that I am protected from the virus. But that shouldn't let you use shots or share shots with other people because you are protected. Yes, still,
You
you can minimize, you cannot still get back, you can minimize using, this is like personal hygiene.
Okay. All right. So now to your major show you are holding. Okay. So since you are organizing a vaccination and screening for the students of UHAS, we would like to know why the students should come and get vaccinated.
Yes, because per our courses that we are doing, there are professional courses that requires us to go to the clinical setting, that is the hospitals, to participate with them. And in doing so, we are exposed to patients most of the time. So, and since they don't show symptoms, you might not know who is infected with the virus or not. So, it is best that we vaccinate ourselves even when we go to the clinicals so that we can be sure that at least for hepatitis B, we will not be contracting it. Yes, like we've been pointing out, the hepatitis B viral infection doesn't have, most of the time doesn't show symptoms. So you might not know you have it.
Okay.
Yes. So this is the second year we are running this program,
Wow.
and the first one was last year.
Okay.
It will amaze you to know
How was
that.
the turnout?
Oh, it was amazing! Like
Oh,
wow,
that's great. Then you are sure this year it will be more.
Yeah, it will amaze you to know that some people were positive,
Wow.
but they never knew.
Okay, so they are the asymptomatic.
Yes.
Okay.
They were okay going around, but like they were having the virus. They never knew.
Yeah.
So
That
that's
would mean that they'll be spreading it all.
what not really, but like
They have not really gotten to their chronic state. So
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
so one of our main objective is for us to know our status as students of UHAS.
Okay.
Yes, and also just knowing your status is not enough. Every life matter. So we would like each and everyone to get vaccinated because that is the best shot we have at preventing this deadly virus.
Please, if you are vaccinated, does that mean that you cannot get the virus ever again? Is there a duration for the vaccination, like, as in?
Yeah, usually when you take the full dose, like my colleague said, the full dose of 3, yeah, when you take it, you are most of the time like you are basically protected for about 10 years.
Mm.
Yes, so you take the vaccine for 10 years, you are required to take another dose
Okay.
because it is research has shown that the vaccine effectiveness in your system will go down after 10 years.
Okay.
Yes. So we are bringing this opportunity to the people of UHAS to get to know their status and also get vaccinated,
Okay.
at least while we stay here in UHAS.
So since the vaccination will be run at a cost, we would like to know the cost that the vaccination would cost, and then the screening, how you do it, like, and the venue that the program will take place.
Yeah, so the program will be at the whole teaching hospital,
Okay.
and it will be from the 5th of March to the 13th of March.
Okay.
And also we're going to, the screening process will be done using blood samples. That is like an individual comes, or you come in, then we take your blood sample. Yes, just by a prick of your finger, then we screen you to know if you are positive or negative. But we hope you are negative. Yes, because our target is to get vaccinated.
Okay.
Yes, and also it's going for a cool 60 Ghana cedis.
Just 60 cedis. I got
Yes,
mine
I
for
said-
90 cedis.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. You should
Yes.
be there to get vaccinated.
This is
That's quite
vaccination at your
affordable.
doorstep.
Okay.
Vaccination at your doorstep.
Wow. She says vaccination at your doorstep. Okay. All right. So we'd like to thank you for the enlightenment and the education, Ms. Rahima and Mr. Precious. Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much
Yeah.
for having us.
We are so delighted to have you here. And to our viewers, thanks for watching. Bye bye for now.